All right. All right, guys. Welcome to I Never Met a Stranger I Didn't Like. I have an awesome guest here today with me. My name is Phil Tubbs, and I'm local, and I've been around here a while, and I've met some people. And today's guest, I met them years ago. Met his wife first.
Yeah.
And she kind of took me under her wing. She was like a little mama to me at the bank. She always was like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? She's like, tell me what it is. I always tell people she was my own little personal guru. But I got Steve Jones here. We've known each other for years. I've spent...
Well over 10 years.
Well over 10 years. I've spent holidays out at your guys' house.
Yep.
I've been out there swimming. Shoot, we've gone shot guns out on your family's property. Right. Yeah. Like, we go way back. So
right.
When I was thinking about this podcast, I wanted to highlight the local magic we have here. Really, the local artists that we have, the local businesses that we have, the local leaders that we have, because I think for a time right now we're in a very good spot. We got a lot of people out there that really care about our community.
This is a great town.
It is. I've seen, even my personal family, they've rallied around. Yeah. And just, when you didn't think it was going to be accomplished, they go way above and beyond. Yeah. And so I wanted to kind of connect people to the community.
Yeah.
And let them get to know these business owners, let them get to know these leaders, let them get to know these people, these great people that are out there working hard to kind of put a name for Claremore, Rogers County. And I was like, man, let's get it. Let's go. Right. I want to go talk to these people. I'm excited about talking to these people.
There's a lot of great people around here. I've been proud to call Claremore home for over 20 years now. I'm actually originally from Tulsa, but I've been out here since the early 2000s, and it's just a great town and community to be part of.
It is. I've moved away. Here I am. I'm right back. I always end up coming back some way.
Right.
And so definitely that the community that we have, we've always had a great music community, I think.
Yeah,
I think a lot of music comes from around here. We have some,
for sure,
huge artists that, right now Zach Bryan's out there. Garth Brooks is from the area.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people that are from here. So music is a huge part of our grain here in this community.
Absolutely.
And so tell us a little bit about the band that you're in, the Bison.
We're the Bison. We've been around since 2019. We started as part of the community. I played guitar on my porch for years and since I was a kid, but the last 12, 15 years I've been playing. I play all the time. You got to do something with this. So I went to a little community jam night here in Claremore, put on by Musicians Haven. Sarah and Andy, they run the other community leaders.
Yes, great community
Ride
leaders.
Design over there, and they're doing their thing. But they just let everybody come to their place and play acoustic songs and sing-alongs, and it was great. And I happened to run into Travis there, and man, I told my wife, I was like, we're gonna do something. He'll invite me to play along with him or something. I played electric guitar, and I was the only one out of the whole crew playing electric guitar. Everybody else played acoustic, and it was a bunch of great musicians. But Travis stuck out, and he was out on his own doing his own acoustic stuff. And he hit me up one time we started playing the local farmers markets. And we played Jay Farley's here in town, which was just one of our hometown places. It's always a good show when you go there, and the food's good.
The food's good, everything.
Chris and Sarah taking care of everything, and they got the pizza company downtown. Oklahoma Pizza Company's delicious.
Pizza.
And so this pizza is delicious all the time. So,
gosh.
But we've been doing that since 2019, and we started as a duo. It's just me and him, and we played the breweries, the Broken Arrow Brewery, the Nook, just all the places around town. We played private parties, backyard parties. We do stuff for the community. We played Zipper Q for several years. We've done the Rogers County Fair just as a duo years ago, and then a couple years ago we ended up starting the Bison Bash at the Canes Ballroom. And so then it's not big enough to do that with the duo, so we got us a band. We brought in Eric and Eric Smith and Zach Oliver, and man, we've been killing it with those guys
great
lately.
Musicians.
But now we've had a little change up on all that. We got us a new drummer because we got the calf right now we're coming up on, and our old drummer just wasn't going to be available for that. And I appreciate him letting us know and all that. He was great. So
life happens,
right? Life happens and all that.
We got families. We understand.
Right. But we got Ken with us now, and we're going to see how this goes. But so far, so good. We've had some practices, but we've got the calf fry coming up in Stillwater at the Tumbleweed, and
it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
If you're not from Oklahoma or even around here, calf fry is like big deal.
For how many years have they been doing that?
Oh gosh, years. I don't even know how many years.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Sure. I thought it was over 20 something.
I'm sure. It's a big deal. But everybody goes down there. And you're eating cow testicles.
Right. That's what it is. We're there to play some music, so I'll be too busy playing guitar probably for the testicles.
Oh, come on. You're not see somebody's gonna
I don't know. I'm sure I'm gonna get suckered into this one. I can see it already. Like, oh, here we go. Oh, I eat them all the time. No big deal. I had them last week. It's fine. But yeah, we're in the Battle of the Bands, and if we do well in that, we'll have a chance to play the Calf Fry Festival, which could be in front of 10 to 14,000 people, and like that's quite an opportunity.
Yeah.
And then we got Emily Hollingshed. She's got a chance to be there, and she played with us at the Canes here at the Bison Bash. So she's in there as part of our competition, and we're glad to go against her. Kinda. I know she's awfully good.
I say she's pretty good too. It's always that you're like, well, I mean, I really want you to go try, but I also don't want you to because you're really good. Man, you may be better than me sometimes.
And some Lance Gouge and golly, there's a CJ. Who's the other? Wilson. Yep, he's around in it. And like, there's several of these guys all.
So we got a bunch of local guys that are going to try to jump out there. Hey,
so
I love it. I love the. I went and listened to the EP. I loved it. I thought it was great. Like it was. Some of the songs almost gave me kind of a '90s country feel, and which that's what I liked. I liked the '90s country, but then at the same time, it gave me a little bit of a different twist to it. Like it was a little bit. It had a southern feel to it, but it was also kind of a little bit. You definitely can tell your influence of the rock in there,
right?
With it as well. So it's not really like I wouldn't say it's rock or country. It's kind of like a little
like an Americana or like a southern rock. I'm not really sure. It's very different, and because Travis was very '90s country, and I was all about I was more '90s alternative, and I think the blend of us two bringing each other together and bringing out the opposite things of putting together, it's different. He's got a lot of country, and I'm not so much, but I'm more blues or rock and roll, and it blends together, and it makes it interesting. So the people that don't always care for country still seem to like what we do because we're not so hard on the country end, and then everybody else likes us for everything else we do. So it's like, I don't know, I feel we're well rounded, and we play for a little bit of everybody. Yeah,
I think it is kind of like I said, it's a little bit for everybody. It's different. It's
you can't
not
go wrong. Everybody's mom loves Randy Travis, so I'm like, come on, you got.
That's what I say, you gotta like me. I like the '90s. I like '90s character. Like the newer stuff is just not really my thing. I like the older stuff. When I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, I hear that. I kind of hear it. And then I started listening, and I kind of have a little bit of a music background myself, and so I'm listening to it. I'm like, man, this is a different feel. Like, okay, I like this. It was real smooth. It kind of relaxing. And I was like, all right, this is what I'm talking about. Like if I'm out having a beer somewhere, that's definitely what I want to be jamming to. Like whenever I'm hanging out with my friends, We've been
a cover band for several years. We didn't just start out being a band, so I think we've had the advantage of playing all these great cover songs, and we get requests from all over the map. And it really makes you kind of dig deep and learn all these different genres and everything, and then when you put it together and we're writing albums and writing songs, it's like, oh, okay, well, we draw from that. So I'm like, some of the stuff we do already kind of sounds classic in a way, and people are always like, oh, it kind of sounds, well, it doesn't really sound like, no, it's I like it. It's not really, they can't ever put their finger on it, but I think it's the draw of what we've been playing and playing classic music for people that like it, and just kind of drawing on that when we write our own stuff.
Kind of just taking the feel of all the other musicians out there and learning that, like you said, so many different songs out there and different genres, and you learn all that and you go, hey, we can play that.
Yeah, and let's
throw it in there.
We're not so much a tribute band, so when we do covers of songs, we're not really trying hard to play that song just like you heard it on the album, because I don't know, I don't think people are interested in that so much unless that's what they're going to see, and I think we put our own spin on it, and it's our sound, I guess, is what it's become. So
I think when people give their own sound to it, like you said, kind of give your own little twist to it, it kind of pays respect and homage to that musician, because if you just play it the same way and try to sound exactly like them,
sometimes
It's not really
that's
doing it.
a disservice.
Yeah.
So sometimes like we play a Michael Jackson cover and people love it, but it sounds nothing like Michael Jackson, and I would never try to step on his toes.
Yeah.
He's Michael Jackson.
It's Michael Jackson.
But like we can sing a song that he does. It's like, but it's not anything like the way he would do it. But I think people enjoy it because of that.
Yeah, it gives them that like, man, oh yeah,
That's different.
yeah, okay, yeah. There's a lot of bands out there that have started kind of picking up that, and they'll do covers, and it's completely left field of what the original was, and people love it, and that's what they're known for.
Right, yeah.
So yeah,
Make a
and
name
but
for
that,
yourself.
like I said, also gives you that taste. You can kind of get those different genres and throw it in there and things like that. So yeah, so like, what do you want to see like accomplished with the Bison? Like, what are you guys' goals? What are you guys wanting to do next? I mean, you guys just had the second birthday bash out there at the Canes, the big old bash, everything. Like, I wanted to go so bad. We had 6 kids. It's that time of year, but it was just. I listened to the videos. I watched them online. Amazing show. It looked like it was so much fun. I'm super bummed I didn't get to go, but how was that?
It was a great show. We did it last year. We started out last year, and playing the Canes. If you're not from around these parts, it's a big deal.
Oh, that's like
this is the 100th year. This is 1924 to 2024. So this is the 100th year anniversary of the Canes, and like. Anybody that's played the Canes, I saw a list of all these great bands today, and just to be part of it. Yeah, just to be part of it.
When you stand backstage, you see it.
Oh yeah, and being on stage, like last year, it was such a big deal. I made it through it, and we did well. I felt we put on a good show, but we played our songs on the Canes stage. This year, we'd already done it, and like. We were more relaxed to enjoy it, and I feel like the show was like so incredible, and like I really took it all in, and I feel like anybody that's ever played that stage was behind us, helping us up there. It's like there's more energy on that than people could ever imagine, but people can see it from in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an incredible experience, and we played well, and everything just couldn't have went better. And we had Wyatt Justice open up the show, and he brought a steel guitar player from Tennessee Jet, and these guys absolutely just. I walked in from Mac's Barbecue. I walked in the front door like a patron, and like they're going, and the fog machines are going, the lights are going, and I'm like, I couldn't have been more proud to be part of like putting together this show.
Yeah.
Like Travis, like really pulled it together doing all this, and like I don't know, just to arrange it and have these artists come in and play with us and be part of it was just great. And like then they did their part. They had their songs ready. They brought just the amount of Wyatt Justice t-shirts out there, and I was like, all right, these people are bringing their tickets in and like doing it. It was just, and everybody just enjoyed it. And then it went on after that to the next guys, and man, the Kilgore Garage Band, they killed it. Yeah. So by the time it was time for us to play, I'm like, we could have not played.
Yeah, it's already been a crazy
Weston
show.
Horn and the Hush were going to kill it for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, heck, we could have just not played. Just putting on this show was enough of an honor to even have it go this well. Yeah. And then we got up there, and it was just incredible.
Well, I mean, a lot of people came to see it.
They really did. They did.
Yeah. So I'm saying, yeah, you could have done it, but probably wouldn't have that turnout.
There were upwards of over 600 people that night. So I'm like, that's an incredible amount of people to be looking at the top of their heads while you're out there doing something you just a lot of people only dream of. And
so now you just got to go up from there. So like, where are you guys thinking?
We're trying to like getting. Man, we got a new drummer now, so that kind of opens up some stuff because our old drummer was not as available. So like, we didn't try to book these bigger stuff, but we're looking into like Born and Raised would be a good one around here, man. We would love to be a part of that. So
everybody out there that's listening to this, like, call the Bison. They will get you. They want to play. So
we want to play, man. We play local restaurants and all that stuff. But anything else, opening it for anybody coming to town, local and stuff, just let us know.
There we go. We got a lot of places, a lot of venues, and there's a lot of places that people come through. So there's.
And we're available for private bookings and stuff. We do that too, like
little parties things. Yeah, like I said, you were doing backyard parties and stuff.
Yeah, that's some of the funnest things. Like we get auctioned off at community events sometimes, and we'll auction off a couple hours of us showing up and playing for you. And man, they'll send us who knows where. So I mean, it's fun stuff, and good, interesting stories come from that. And usually you get more business from that as well.
Yeah,
like somebody else will be like, man, I saw you guys. That's what you come to our house, because people don't know. Like we'll come to your house.
Yeah, we just want to play.
Yeah, we just want to play. And like, so if you want to buy your pool, like, make some money and play some music at your house. Like, it is an available thing, and it's super fun. It's some of the best things we do.
Oh, I bet. That's the best.
Come to our lake house and stand next to the boat dock and sing songs for us while we swim and hang out. I'm like, okay.
All right, yeah. So I'm sitting at the lake, getting paid to play music.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you want some pizza and beer? I'm like, yeah, I guess we'd have some of your. Yeah, I don't know. You get invited to all these parties, and you're part of the party. It's super fun, and they're always glad to have us. And it's just a good time. I don't know.
I love it. Awesome. Well, so like I said, you moved here from Tulsa about 20 years ago. You and Julie came here. You guys have been married. How long have you guys been together?
Oh man, since 2001.
2001.
Yeah, we got married like a month after 9/11. So, yeah,
man,
it's been
that's a long time. Yeah. I'll say this: I kind of admired you and Julia as like when I was younger. Might get a little emotional, but I just, you guys were always so great to me. You were like, my family was out of town during the summers a lot of the time, and so I was gone, and you were my family. You guys treated me like that, and I loved it. And I watched you, like, you're working hard, like you literally, like you were over at Lowe's, just put in the hours, working hard,
a lot of years doing that.
Yeah, and I was just like, and then I see you, and you're always like. You always seemed like you were in a good mood. Like, yeah, you're not like the in-your-face cheesy, but you're always like, you can just tell the energy on your face. And I'm like, gosh. And then you see you with your kids and things like that. And I'm like, man, I want to be like that whenever I have kids, whenever I get like that, because I see him working. He's able to handle, his wife, be there with his wife, be there with his kids, and still and not let that affect him and things like. And I'm sure we all have the struggles. We all do. Yeah. We see what's on the outside, but I watched you and I was like, man, I admire that so much. Like that's one thing that I want.
Thank you so much.
Like I really like it's you. You guys are great people. You guys are good people, and so you guys have been together since 2001.
It's the good energy, though, is what you're talking about. And like Travis has that.
Yeah.
And Travis, like in the rest of the Bison, everybody in the Bison has been married for over 20 years.
You want to feel that.
And my favorite compliment I've ever gotten, it was like 2019 or so, like several years ago we started playing. I know we wasn't that good, but I've heard great stuff. Oh, you play like Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jimi Hendrix. I'm like, yeah, you can say my idols' names. That's cool, but that's great. You hear that, and I don't really think that, so I don't think that.
Yeah.
Just what people have said.
Yeah.
But the one that got me the most was like, you guys bring really good energy to the evening. I've sat on that compliment for four years now, and I'm just like, man, yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
That's like, okay, that's all it is. It's like, oh, you hit every note right, and you sang just perfect. Like, no, they don't really care about that, but you bring good energy to the evening.
Yeah,
right?
Just have fun with it and enjoy it. Like, that's you bring that. You can, like, you sense that energy.
And it's more than just the songs. You're like, it's like, it's who you are as far as, like, your life goes, and, like.
And then you guys are out there talking to people. You're not acting like you're just some big band.
You're not. You're just
just
some guy with a guitar and some strings, and it kind of drives me nuts sometimes because like I'll have the old man that get me after a gig. They're like, oh man, they give you the old arm grab and they won't let you go until they tell you whatever. Like, man, I wish I played guitar. And I'm like, well, go buy one, like $100. You could be playing one like this afternoon before you get home at a pawn shop. Go get one and go learn to do that crap, because otherwise, like, you're just gonna sit here and act like you want to do that, and you'll never do it. But it's very depressing in a way. I'm like, just go do it, because I play every day and it's hard and I hate it.
Yeah.
A lot of times over the years, not really hate it, but yes, I've hated it.
Yeah,
I've not enjoyed it, and like it's in such a struggle for me in a lot of areas. But like. Now it's pretty fulfilling to stand up here on the stage of the Canes. You can't buy that. You can't play well. You can't buy a playing well evening. You've got to be ready for it. And like, you can get up there and stand next to me and dance around if you want for money, but like, you're not going to get to like the fulfillment of playing a good show.
Feeling that,
without really. And then people seeing you play, like it's an incredible feeling. There's a lot of work to get there.
Oh yeah, it's not easy, not a hard. I mean, like. It's not an easy road. Like I said, you got to start out playing.
But go start playing. You don't have to get there. Maybe you don't want to play on the Canes. But man, you could get a lot of enjoyment bringing your music to just around a campfire or just in your own porch or whatever, man. Like
whatever. You could bring yourself enjoyment of it, even if it doesn't sound the best.
Yeah.
Keep on getting better.
Yeah, and that's what makes you keep going. Yeah, so, I don't know.
I've struggled with that, in my life. You've mentioned that to me before too, and it was having that struggle of, well, am I good enough, or how's this, and always want, like, and I don't know about you, I'm like, my ADHD, like, I want to start from first to this point, like, I want to skip all of this.
I wanted to go
there.
Jimi Hendrix. To play light mechanic. I should have started. There were so many other, like, I could have just been singing country songs and like having a good time along the way. Yeah, and I see that now, but I'm like, I wanted top notch, and we blind ourselves with that. What's in the future? I've got to get to this point, and we don't. And my mom she told me, she goes, well, you need to enjoy the journey. Mm-hmm. The whole this podcast, like, I was like really excited about doing this. I'm like, let's go. And then I'm like, nobody's going to want to listen to me. I'm not going to be good. And these podcasts, they're probably going to be a little crummy at first, but hey, we're having fun. Dude.
Right?
Like, our Julie's like, well, you guys guys kind of used to suck. I'm like, well, I would imagine we didn't know what we were doing. Like, knew the band. Like, how do you like go out there and like do all this? And then the amount of stuff you got to know.
Yeah.
To, like when you show up, you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm my own sound guy. Got to figure out how to call that stuff up and make it sound good.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh man, and these guys were playing the other day, a no-name band. I'm not gonna say. I'm like, I heard they were loud. They're playing loud. Or a local restaurant. I'm like, they're loud. Then I see they don't have a monitor. I'm like, oh, they can't hear themselves, so they got the freaking mains turned up too loud. And like, if they'd have a monitor, which I played for a while without a monitor, and I'm like, oh, we should have. That's why you need a monitor.
Yeah,
you don't know that.
Yeah, you got to hear yourself.
Yeah, and you can hear it good enough, but like not.
Yeah, it's not the
now it's too loud for everybody else, so you can hear it.
The sound's bouncing off back to you, and that's a different
and
sound.
These guys didn't know, and they're singing loud over everybody's cheeseburger, and it was just not.
You have to learn those things.
Yeah.
That's you got to enjoy that journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's you can't just go from point A to Y. Mm-hmm. Like it's not there. It doesn't work that way.
Nope,
you know, and you got to put in the work and the time into it. And that's I was like, okay,
it makes it so much more worth it though. You're like, oh, okay.
So just enjoy it, have fun, and then like you said, when you're standing up on canes, this is the second year you're doing it. Second time you're fighting up the canes, like. We're really doing it.
Yeah.
All those times I'm standing in my shed practicing. Yeah. I remember just sitting in the shed. You're freaking jamming for us, and now like you're on Canes
jamming for these people.
So, yeah.
I'm booked 2 more times this year at the Canes on the 100th year anniversary of the Canes. I got 2 scheduled dates because we got the Bison Bash again. We're gonna do it again.
That's
we have
awesome.
to now.
Well, you have to. You got to keep
already
it going.
talked to them. It's already like. There,
well, there you go.
And so then
your 3 is already set.
A private event there. And like I'm like, okay, well, they've been hired to play the private event at the Canes, so pretty excited about that.
That's awesome.
I'm like, all right, well, on the 100th year, that's a big deal. I'm like, I'll be one of those lists on.
Yeah, that's
very excited about all of it and just having your name in there.
That's a big deal. Yeah, just
like,
I feel like I don't care if I play very first.
And,
I'll play at 7 a.m. Whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
Like let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
that is so cool.
We'll have more on the Bison Bash later on. We don't really have much planned.
Well, yeah, we got
a whole while.
We got a few months before.
You can't mess around with this stuff.
No, I did shows for years, and we did one basically every single night, and it was back to back, and it is ongoing. Like there's no stop. Like I had no life. Yeah, so it takes a lot of time to just put in that effort and promoting it and getting it out there, getting the bands, making sure everything's set, and it's just getting everybody paid and all of that jazz.
Man,
it's a mess. So you and Julie been together since 2001.
Yep.
You guys have 2 kids.
2 kids. And man, one of them's 13 and 18, so I'm about done with all that. They're mostly grown. They take care of themselves and cook their own chicken nuggets nowadays. So
that's insane. That just blows my mind that they're that big. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
They were
my oldest.
Little. They were like my kids' age. Like they were little kids.
My oldest works at the lumber yard with me, so we're co-workers.
No way.
Yeah.
See,
it's wild.
Me and my dad worked together at Baker Hughes, and that was the craziest thing for me when I started working with my dad.
I would work with my dad. That would have been. I worked with him as a kid. My dad owned an upholstery shop, so I helped strip a lot of furniture and deliver stuff, and So I don't know. It was funny. He worked for all the ritzy people in Tulsa back in the day, and like all these fancy big houses, and I'm like, these are the houses I get to play nowadays again. So at least I know how to act civilized.
Yes, you learned a little bit of some
like, okay, don't knock nothing over and keep your hands in your pocket.
That's the hardest part. Yeah, doing pest control, you go into these big houses and talking to people, and I grew up in Chelsea, like out in the middle of nowhere, like Claremore, Chelsea. I'm not trained in any of that at all. Like I'm a I'm a Southern boy. I talk what I want to say. I'll use words in the wrong spot. It's just the way it goes. You just say it. You got to be, but then you got to kind of turn that filter out a little bit and remember.
We played a gig so fancy one time. She apologized to me for giving me tap water. All I have is tap water. I'm like, oh no. I drink out of water hoses. It's fine if you got a hose. I'll go outside, but no. Double stainless. Oh, we're all out of water in the fridge, and like, all I have is tap water. The nose scrunch. I was like, well, I mean, I guess that'll be fine. We'll mark that down next time we come. We put that on the books.
Gosh. So, you guys moved here. You got the kids are in school. Well, one's out.
One's out.
You got another one that'll be out in a couple years, and then And then
so we're trying to do our own thing. I'm doing the music thing, and Julie's been writing her books, and like, that's getting good.
You guys got to put a lot more time into Claremore, like around the areas and things. Like I always see you guys always involved in other things. You guys are, if it's not in the band, it's one thing or another. You guys are out
she's
there.
doing the Gridiron. She's writing for the Gridiron, which is coming up here next month. And
that's coming up. That'll be great.
It's like the 60th year or something they did there.
Crazy.
Something, I don't know. But she's been the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Her and Travis is involved in that too. So they've both been doing the writing in that, which is just fun because that's a fun.
Oh yeah, it's just good. Yeah, just good laughs and have a time.
Goofing everybody in town and all that. So
I gotta love it.
The singing and the dancing, and of course some music in that too. So you can't beat it.
So So you guys are really involved. Like, what's your guys' like favorite thing in like Claremore, Roger County? Like, where are you guys like? What's your favorite like attraction spot to go? Like, where do you like to go?
Man, that's a tough question. I mean, like we don't really we do our own thing, so we're not really outers going as far as that goes, unless somebody's got me somewhere. But I mean, we hit up the local spots, like Main Street Tavern and like Boomerang Diner and like Jay Farley's and Oklahoma Pizza Company are probably the big ones we go.
Just hang out around there.
Yeah, and then you can walk around downtown, hit the local bookstores. Yeah, of course, Yeah,
well, you got the bookstore right next to the bar there, so you could just
and the Tap on the Tracks, which is now Cabin Boys.
Yeah, Cabin Boys over there.
They've done a good job with it, and they've improved the sound quality there because they did a little bit of work inside, getting some acoustics a little better. It's a tough room on that.
It is. It's a big giant brick concrete room.
Yeah, nothing their fault at all. It's just the way it is.
It's gonna bounce everything.
But that's how it goes. It's funny the stuff you look at differently when you go to the restaurants. I'm like, oh, how was the beer? I'm like, oh, I was listening to the acoustics.
Yeah. I was listening to people talk.
You
hear the band, you're like, man, they need to move something over in this corner.
What's going on?
Yeah, you start looking like, oh, that's off a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely for sure. So so in the community, things like that. What would you like? What do you think? How's the community? How do you think our community leaders and things are doing? Like, where do you think? Like, do you think there's improvements you could see coming up?
I think there are always
some ideas.
Man, I think they're always working towards the good here for sure. I just don't. I'm like, I don't know. I stay caught up in my music so much that I'm like, man, I don't know.
You're like, I stay out of that.
I do. I'm like, man, y'all want to talk about the parklets? Is this the time?
You're like, we're just here to play music. Like,
right. I don't know. I like to sit in a parklet sometimes. But how do you stand? I'm not voting on this.
Yeah, I'm not voting on that.
No way, man. Like, what got the Bison canceled? It was the parklets. That was it. They took a hard stand and.
See, that's it. It's the things like that. I'm like, if we could all just work together and just like not argue about the little things, we could do a lot better. There's, the parklets. I love the idea. I love their great idea. Maybe,
but it's tough.
It's
sometimes
tough to
it's cold outside, so you're
it's tough to make it work. And we do have limited parking down there.
Yeah.
Like, I get both sides of it.
For sure.
I definitely do. Like, I understand. The part of it, it's just being there and that. But I'm like, if there's a way to resolve it,
right?
And instead of just let's not fight about it, let's just go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want them, we don't. How can we resolve this? Like, there's got to be a medium somewhere because
a couple of them to Rochambeau for it in the downtown area, maybe. Like,
that was just right. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So
everybody means well by it. They just have their different ideas and what they think and all that. So it's like, I don't know. I don't really. I just read the comments. I know better than to say anything nowadays.
Yeah, you're like,
yeah, that's a trap.
I'm not going to get into that one. So, and in our community, like, what would you say? There's, you talked about Travis a lot. You said he was such an influence. Is there any other like local people that kind of like they influence? And you're like, oh yeah, they have an impact on me. Is there? I know I'm giving you the tough questions.
I know the tough questions. I'm like,
I got you loose enough and let you talk for a little bit, and now I'm like, yeah, you don't have to say names. You can be like, well, this person did this, and this.
I just know. I like my friend Allison's running the Main Street down there, and she's doing a good job. I'm like, I've got a little bit in with everybody. It seems, and like I'm really proud of all of them. And that's
so you just take off everybody. You're like, I just love all the compliments.
Right. Well, we just keep them like, you got the Hayes doing their stuff all the time. They're doing the events. They did the Polar Plunge and
Yeah.
like helped put that on, and with a bunch of local people at their places, and like I don't know, everybody's got their hand in everything, and they're
So you're just proud of everybody just
because we're in with everybody, and
Yeah.
like we get drawn into all these events, and there's like so many of them. Every time we play the fair, there's so many people involved with that. And Zipper Q, you know,
Yeah.
Amy Gorman with the Zipper Q every year, and like all the
That's
stuff
a
they
big
do.
deal. It
Yeah,
takes a lot to go into that, and people don't realize it's not
Absolutely. She
just
works
one
so
person
hard.
that goes
No,
it, but
dude,
but it. I mean, those people that are doing it
Yeah.
are putting so much into that and so much time. into
Yeah,
that.
I just
People
showed up and
realize
played
that.
guitar and stuff and loaded some stuff in. That's no big deal. But they put in weeks and weeks and months
Months
on
of
this
just
stuff,
planning.
like trying to get it all lined out.
Yeah.
And so no, there's a lot of good stuff going around for all of them. So.
Good. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. It's that's what I like about our community is there's somebody that's good at something.
Yeah.
Like,
And they're all willing to help each
and-
other
and
out
exactly.
for the
And
most part.
So then we can come together and just like that's what I kind of want to accomplish is like I think we can get these communities together, like bring everybody together.
Well, if
because
everybody
we
had to
have
talk to everybody rather than just mouth off on Facebook and you saw them downtown, you would,
Yeah.
oh, well, that guy's really not as bad as he sounds
No,
on Facebook.
We read words. Words,
Yeah, oh,
words
you
can be
read it and-
taken. You
Yeah.
could be all. It depends on your mood too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're in a bad mood and you start reading something, you're like,
I don't think that's what he said.
you say that in front of me like that in my face, I'm gonna have a problem. You know. And
Yeah,
you're
like, I don't think that's
but-
even what he said. But yeah, that's,
Yeah, you know, you're like, oh, well, maybe it wasn't. And then you're like, how are you doing? You're like,
he's pretty nice.
he's not that.
I'm not even going to
person.
punch him.
Yeah, it's not. I'll let that one
I'll
slide
let it
this
slide
time.
this time.
You
Okay.
got passed on that one.
Yeah. I don't know.
No,
Then
no.
everybody's somebody. Everybody's like, I don't know. It's a small town, and like
Yeah.
the older you get, the more you realize, like, man, everybody's somebody else.
Yeah,
And, like,
you know somebody that knows them, and
Uh-huh.
you like look at things you're like, how do you know all these people? And you're like, I've just been around here forever. I've been in, you know, you're like, Julia was telling me, you're like, how does Phil know these people? I'm like, he was in the music industry
he knows
too, you
all
know,
that.
like that was old Phil. I used to
Yeah.
be in music all the time, you know.
Everybody looks familiar to me from like 15 years at Lowe's. Everybody, I'm like, did I sell that guy a washer? I'm like, I hope it worked. And then like, man, then people come talk to me now, and I'm like, I don't think we're famous, but like people do recognize me before I recognize them, and I'm like, man, did I sell them something? Or are they like, oh no, I saw you at the such and such, and like, did we talk? I'm like, well, a little bit. I'm like, man, I don't remember everybody.
Yeah,
Then I
yeah.
still work customer service, so I'm like, I don't know, I deal with people every day.
I always learned calling people bro or like
Yeah.
buddy or like, you know, things like that. It gets you away with a lot.
We were out the other day, and like, you know, Travis missed a guy's name. It was great, and he was like, I think his name. I was like, hold on, I didn't know him, and I was like, oh hey, I'm Steve, and I was
Exactly.
like, there you go. I was like,
Boom.
yeah, boom, fist bump.
Yeah, oh yeah, you always. I'm like, I'll do that to my.
got him.
I can't remember the husband's
Yeah.
name or whatever. So
Yeah.
like, you need your help. Yeah.
Usually I make Julie do it, yeah, because I'm the worst. She's like, oh, you didn't introduce me. I'm like, because I don't remember nobody.
don't remember the
It's your
names.
job to come up and say I didn't introduce you, and then we'll all know everybody's name. It's all part of the
I'm not
act.
rude. I just intentionally
Yeah.
do this so that I can figure out
Right.
their names, and then I'm going to go. All right, Bob.
And then I'm
Bob,
still gonna
Bob.
forgot it.
Okay, and then next time you see him,
I don't know this guy's name.
2 hours later you'll be Bob.
It
That
was.
what
It was him. I remember him now. He had the jacket on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness,
good
that's so,
times, though.
that's so funny. Oh, I love it. So, in the music, you know, there's always that kind of conception of like, you know, the rock star life. Is there any like misconception of that? You know, like, I mean, you guys had to have fun, but like, it's not all party and drinking and things like that.
No,
right?
it could be though.
I mean,
like
I guess
it
you
depends
could.
on what you do. Like I think that's where we've got a chance because we're not all about that life.
Mm-hmm.
We're all like over 40 years old, and we're not really about just going out and partying. I want to play some music and have a good time, so we show up on time.
Yeah.
We don't play too loud. We do what we're supposed to do, and like that's half the battle. Like,
Yeah.
we played over at Eureka Springs the other day, and they had a meter, a decibel meter in the corner, and I was like, I didn't know what it was at first. I could see it fluctuating, and I finally was like,
Oh.
started playing loud. I'm like, oh, okay. And I went and asked the owner. I was during break. I was like, well, what's the high score? What are we trying to get
Yeah.
to? He's like, keep it under 100, because he's like, apparently he had to get it because like one band would play too loud every time, so he had to buy a monitor, which I'm like, that was pretty cool. Kind of gave us an idea. I have one
That's
for
nice.
other purposes, but like I don't know what. Apparently 100 is probably about the
Probably
sound.
a lot
But man,
of
we
sounds,
don't.
yeah.
I don't know. We've never really had to been told to not do that, it usually works itself out. But I think people appreciate it if you're not typical rock stars playing too loud and like I don't know. It's people are trying to order beer, or they're a lot of times you're not the main draw. When you come to the Canes to see us at a show, that's different than at
like
the restaurant, and like they're here with their aunt and she's out of town. They want to talk to her. They want to order their drinks, and nobody can hear anybody. They're not about that.
That's not fun. Yeah,
but I think be respectable and don't live that lifestyle. I'm like, we just go to play music. So I think if we're not, I don't know, we're not going to bring up events that may have happened at the Grand Ole Opry lately, but I think if you're better off not acting in those manners, that's a lot of blowback.
It is.
And like to have the Opry have to apologize.
Well, especially when their career was going up like it was, and then now, like, especially
it's not good. Yeah, it's got moved on another date I saw, and I'm just like, that's bad. Okay, that's not what to do. So make notes.
Make notes. Do not
to do that.
Do not mess up Dolly Parton's birthday.
Right, but I mean, there's a lot of times we get a lot of we play breweries, we get free beers, we get as much as we want all night long, and like
you could go out.
I'm like, I have a rule. It's usually 3. I'm like 3. And the shots don't count.
Shots don't count. That's
fuzzy math.
That's a little. That's musician math. That's musician math. You talk about girl math, and you talk about musician math. Yeah, I love it.
Like shots don't count, but no more than 3 beers, because they'll trick you with the 8 and 11% at these breweries. They're like, oh man, what is in that? And like next thing you know, you can't read or think of your lines, and then you're messing up your show. And I'm like, the people are paying me to be here, and I'm supposed to be professional. And I think if you're doing it for the music and doing it for the right thing, I think you're bound to go further than if you're just going out to see how much beer they can drink. Because they do. They're like, we drank all the beer. I'm like, well, why would you want to have you back if the band you hired drank all the beer they had?
And then you just like cost them.
That doesn't seem to make sense. No. Like, no, they drank 3 beers and we paid them and they left. And they came back on time the next time. I'm like, well,
I had a good time. They were respectful.
Yeah, like that's it. Dude, people are like, oh, you guys are maybe the nicest band we've had here. And I'm like, well, you
would be surprised.
That's cool, but like it shouldn't be that hard to be the nicest band. Like
you'd be surprised. Right? People don't care. They'll throw our gear down. They'll stomp on those monitors. They would do everything. You're just like, oh my gosh. But they don't care. It's not theirs. They don't worry about it.
We had some sound guys last night, NOLA Hayfest. The sound guys, we were excited to work with you, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like,
you're easy to work with.
Yeah, but how'd they know? Like, what did you hear? You know what I mean?
Sound guys talk.
It was great.
Sound guys talk.
It was great.
We do.
It made me feel really good. I'm like, well, good. You guys keep talking.
Yeah,
we excited to work with you guys.
Yeah, you tell the next person that.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, we got a little bit of time left. I just wanted to see, maybe you want to give us a little taste of something. Give us a little hum.
Something here.
Something. We'll get this on here. Right.
Let me see. Let's see. What should I play? No, this is live. That's nice.
Yeah, you're good. You mess up. You do whatever you want. The mess ups are the best part.
Right.
We just have fun. That's all. That's what we're doing.
That's about where we're at on it all nowadays.
That's what matters.
Like, man, we played the news. We played Channel 8 a couple times. Well, then they let us play. We played live. A couple times I've been there. We played live where they're getting ready to change their show. And they're like, hey, how about you record some for the next time? And I'm like, all right, well, cool. This will be easy. We're playing like recording. Oh my God, it was so much worse trying to record it, knowing that they were going to do that.
They're
I was like,
there,
man, like let's just playing live. You got to play live, and that's it. We're like, can we start over?
Yeah, that's the worst. I always hated recording things because you're like, because you hear it, all the imperfections.
Oh yeah, and you know you can fix it, but then you're like, crap, do I just finish it out? And like, oh man,
just roll with it. Yeah.
Okay. This is, let's see, I'll do this. This is a personal song. Like, not personal, like I wouldn't share it with the band, but I wrote this one. It's not on the album or nothing. It's called Playing for Smiles. Welcome out this evening. We're here to hang out a while. Play some music, make you dance, hope to see you smile. We come play here often. Just, hold on, sorry.
No, that's good.
It was the ear. I was like, I forgot we did this last time. It's so hard to not do it. All right, hold on. All right, yeah. I haven't played this one in a minute.
This is what makes the show great.
Right,
We're just having fun. Just relax, dude. Right. Yeah, let's get it.
Let's go. Welcome out this evening. We're here to hang out a while. Play some music, make you dance. I hope to see you smile. We came out here tonight to play you our songs. If you know the words to sing, feel free to sing along. We come play here often when they pay us to. If we play well, they'll have us back. We hope you come back too. The music's good, the beer's cold. Everyone stay for a while. You can tip us a dollar bill, but we play for the smiles. Thanks everyone for coming out. We're glad to have you here. We don't know if you showed up for the music or the beer. It don't matter either way, we're gonna play you our songs. If you know the words to sing, feel free to sing along. It don't matter if you listen to the Beatles or Motley Crue, Pearl Jam and Waylon Jennings, and we'll play something for you. Since we're playing in a cover band, we're supposed to know all the songs. If you do too and feel like singing, feel free to sing along. Thanks everyone for coming out. Forget about life for a while. You can tip us some dollar bills, but we play for the smiles. You can pay us in money and beer, and we'll play till last call. But the smiles we get when we play are the best tips of them all. Thanks everyone for coming out. You forget about life for a while. You can tip us some dollar bills, but we play for the smiles.
Wow. Love it.
There we go.
That was awesome.
Right on.
That was fun.
That was kind
Thanks
of
to
fun,
that.
you know.
I like that. Thank you for that.
It's about what we do.
Well, Steve, how can people find out more about the Bison?
Well, we got our Facebook page at the Bison-Band. We're also on the bisonmusic.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you got
we can
links
find
to
it
all this
on
stuff.
all that. Yeah, we'll get links to everything
Also
on this.
on,
Amazon, Spotify.
Spotify, yeah, and like pretty much all of the streaming services under the Bison Band. There's other stuff out there, but the Bison Band.
The Bison Band.
More stories than Yellow Lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got. I don't have one of the songs off of it, but I do have one more song if you want it.
Let's wrap up the show, and then we'll get that song. We're going to add that to it. We'll add it to the end there.
Right.
Guys, go follow them. Go look at. Play us out. Let's do that. Let's play us out. That's what we're going to do. I like that. Play us out. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. This is the very first episode. Steve.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for having me. And I'm excited to hear all the rest of this stuff and like all about the Will Rogers references and all that. So, let's go.
Steve's going to play us a song out. Is this on the EP?
This is not.
This is not
one of the ones that's not on there. So
we're getting the good stuff.
So as soon as I can find it here. Otherwise, I wasn't ready.
No, you're good.
This one's called Let Me Be Me. And usually Travis does all the singing, but I figured I'd sing this one for you tonight.
Here we go. All right. Thank you guys so much. And Steve, thank you so much for joining me and being on the show, taking time, because that's, I understand, busy times. So.
Right on. Well, thanks for the support in the Bison and having us on here.
Yes, I'm excited to see how you guys go.
Oh, we're going somewhere with it.
Yes.
Back around, your heart's been lost and found. You're now ready to commit. I'm pretty sure I'm through. Not much that you can do. I'm sick and tired of all this. So walk away from me, girl. Yeah, anyway. let me just be me. Say now you've seen the light, can't tell the day from night. You're so caught up from this stress. Well, let me help you out. It's night when the moon's about, and I'm done dealing with your mess. So walk away from the girl. Yeah, anywhere else in this whole dang world. Can't you just let me be? Yeah, let me just be me. Can't you just let me be? Yeah, let me just be me.
Woof. I love it.
Right on, man.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Woo. Awesome. Thank you so much again, Steve.
Right on. We're playing the Iron Horse February 17th. The next thing we got going.
February 17th coming up. So
16th. February 16th.
16th.
Sorry.
16th, guys.
It's a Friday.
If you make sure you listen to the whole podcast, don't stop it right there. So go see him February 16th at the Iron Horse out in Oolagal, right?
Yes.
Yep. So go out there and check him out. Thank you again. And
Thank you.
the song that's going to be playing for our podcast, probably should mention this too, is written by our very own Steve Joe. So he's going to be writing the song for that. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Right on.
So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much, and thanks for listening.
Right on.